long is the fiancé visa process? Well, there's a great question, and that gives us an opportunity to talk about timelines. But to answer your question directly, all we can do is give you an estimate. We see 5 to 7 months if I'm going to give you a 2-month range. But that's an estimate, and that's based on the thousands of petitions we see. But any estimate we give you, or any estimate anybody gives you, even the government, is rearward looking, meaning the people being approved right now applied 5, 6, 7 months ago, and now they're being applied. If you're asking me, which of course people usually are asking me or us, how long will my petition take if I apply today? Nobody knows. Even the government doesn't know. But based on current trends we're seeing right now, 5 to 7, it's actually creeping up a little bit now. So maybe I would say 6 to 7 months. Could yours take 4 months? It might. Could yours take a year? It might. Every individual case is going to be different based on a whole lot of factors. How complicated is your case? What's the political environment, not only in the United States, but in the country where the interview needs to be done? I mean, there's so many variables that really nobody can give you an exact, precise answer. We'd rather not even give you any timeline, but I understand people do want a timeline, of course. I would too. So I get why people ask. You want some kind of ballpark. All we ask is that you please understand that's a ballpark answer. Yours might go quicker. It might take 3 times as long as our estimate. There's just no way to know. And not just with fiancé visa, I'm referring to any type of visa. Even a government themselves, if you call them, they will not give you a time. And if they do, they'll estimate it long, which is probably wise on their part. Like right now, I think they're telling people it's taken about a year for a fiancé visa. We're not seeing that. It's very rare we see a fiancé visa take a year. But USCIS has lately been giving out that information, probably just because it's kind of the under promise over deliver thing. If they tell you a year and it takes 9 months, you're happy. If they tell you a year, 6 months and it takes 9 months, now you're mad. And so maybe there's some wisdom on their part to say a year when in fact it rarely ever takes a year. So there you go. Can't give you an exact answer, of course, and any answer anybody gives you is based on statistical data from the past, since none of us can foresee the future. So there you go. Timelines are tough. But I would look at if you're planning, I would look at 6, 7 months. Don't go buying plane tickets, spending money, reserving a wedding hall. Don't go do any of that stuff because there's no way to guess how long your case is going to take. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I was going to add just one point. A lot of our customers that call in mention that they look at the processing times online with USCIS. And I just want to let you know that a lot of times you'll find the status is not updated on a regular basis, and sometimes those timelines are out of date. And also, they do not list the timelines for all processing centers. They may only list the processing times for 4 centers, and a lot of times someone will look at the processing time for California and say, well, mine's in Virginia or somewhere else, and they think that applies across the board, and it doesn't always. So be careful of anything that you read online or hear from the USCIS. It's not that they're trying to confuse you or lie to you. It's just that they don't always update those timelines. So I know you call in.
An important thing. I'm glad you brought up the USCIS timelines. USCIS timeline is only applicable to the USCIS process. Mm-hmm. And of course, in the case of a K-1, which you were asking about, that's only half the process. You got to get approved by the CIS. So if you go on the CIS website and you find out what's the timeline for an I-129F, that's only for USCIS approval. You still have to go to the embassy. The USCIS timelines do not include embassy for processes that need embassy. Now, if you're doing something like an adjustment of status where there's no embassy involved, yes, that timeline might be reasonable. But if you're looking at a fiancé visa, which is what you asked about, or a tourist visa or spousal visa, that's only the CIS part of the process. That has nothing to do with the State Department and the embassy. So that's definitely going to be longer than that time. So again, timelines are just tricky.